WDTN, the station that's working for you. This is 2 News Now.
Welcome in, everybody. Oh, my goodness. Congratulations. We've made it to Friday. We have finally made it. It's not Friday Eve. It's the big day. It is Friday, March 6th. I am your host, Alexis Bellamy. Across from me on this 2 News Now Friday is 2 News traffic anchor Lee Jeffries. Lee, how are you?
I'm good. I'm happy we made it to Friday. It's been a rough week.
Has it? A rough one is crazy.
The rain
I was just going to say a long one. Oh, okay, you're saying the rain has made it a tough
It's sad.
week. Sure, that's fair enough. Okay, so we'll accept that. So we have a lot to get through. We want to know what's happening in the weekend, and the most important thing, of course, is the forecast. Lee mentioned the rain has been on and off for some time, but we are hoping it is off Saturday and Sunday. But I don't think it all the way is it, Jamie?
Not quite. I mean, there's going to be some dry time over the weekend, but we'll still see some showers. Have you guys been outside lately?
I've been here.
If you're watching at work today, you need to get outside because it is so nice. It feels so great out there.
Okay, yeah. I'm surprised. Pleasantly surprised then.
It's really, really nice. The sun came out and temperatures are climbing, so we still do have a little bit of flooding going on. We just have one lingering flood warning along the Little Miami River down at Spring Valley, extending into Butler County. And the stage is currently 12.1 feet. Flood stage is 11 feet, so we're still just above that. Minor flooding is occurring in the usual spots that flood down that way. And the flood warning has been extended until Saturday morning. Here's a look at some of the rainfall totals. Down across the south is where we've had the heaviest. 4.9 in Kettering, 4.8 in Beaver Creek, right around 4 inches for the Fairborn area, and then about 2.5 for Dayton. Notice Fort Loramie was lower because those northern counties just didn't see as much, but hey, an inch is great up that way because they have had a drought ongoing. A look at our Troy Stouter Center time lapse. We started off with some pretty thick fog this morning. We still do have a little bit of fog in spots, but conditions are really improving in many locations. The sun is coming out. We're seeing that now in Troy, and temperatures are responding with that sun. It is currently 63 in Troy, Dayton, and Springfield. It is 66 over in Fairborn and down towards the Springboro area. So 2 things to know today. Near record warmth is expected this afternoon. We're likely to tie, if not break, a record high. And then we're looking at the potential for some severe storms on Saturday. Timing looks to be late morning, early afternoon. So you could see just one lingering shower out there in portions of Clark and Champaign counties. Otherwise, some breaks of sun and very warm. We should be up to 75 for a high today.
Is that the record? That is exciting.
The current record is 74. That was set back in 2022. So we are forecasting breaking that today.
I am so excited. I have my fingers crossed. That will be something in March. And oh my goodness, just put it on for women. The weather is doing this for International Women's Day this weekend. Thank you so much, Jamie. We'll have that full look from you in a little bit. But for now, we're going to jump into our top 5 stories of the day. And we are starting out with something you really just have to see to believe. Talk about caught on camera video. Look at this. A car literally crashed through the front of a flower shop in Kettering yesterday. Take a look at this. On your screen, you're seeing the aftermath of that. You can see the car inside of the Flowerama on Schroyer Road. There's the devastation that it left behind there. So this happened just after 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon, and police say that a person was in the building and they were hurt and they were taken to the hospital. We're still working on an update on exactly how they are doing this morning, but the driver of the car was not hurt. The cause of the crash is still under investigation. Lee, what a sight.
I mean, this was a crazy story. And then looking at the videos, too, crazy.
It was the tow truck literally coming to get their car out of there. I know we're going to find out exactly how that happened. And we're always thankful when we see stuff like this. It could always be worse.
Definitely.
Things could always be worse. So just one person was hurt is the best case scenario here, Lee.
Next up, Sydney held a town hall for a data center. People in Shelby County are right now hoping to learn information about exact plans for a data center that's in the works. People say they had no idea that plans were actually in motion until the documents were already signed. The data center would be on West Mill Creek Road and South Vandemark Road, and that's right next to the industrial zone of the city. Last night, a town hall was held to ask questions about the project and to learn what they should expect. Neighbors say they are frustrated with the lack of information and that they want to be involved with their community's decision.
Yeah, no matter where these things go, I know people have been saying that communication is the key factor here.
Yeah, a lot of people are just looking for answers with that.
Take a look at this. We have another very, very, very interesting piece of video, I guess I'll say. We brought this to you just last month. This is Oscar the Grouch, as he's been so lovingly named. So this man was arrested after hiding from police in a garbage can. We've learned he is going to spend some time behind bars this morning. Court records show that Jonathan McMillan, that is his name, running straight out of his shoes. I didn't see that the first time, Lee. Someone pointed that out to me. So we've learned he is going to spend 90 days in jail and 1 year under community control. Now, this comes after he ran from Huber Heights police in this traffic stop, or in this incident that we see here last month. The video, we know, went viral online, and I guess everyone came together and nicknamed him Oscar the Grouch. I didn't realize it was a prank, though, at first. That's new information to me, that's how this happened. It's some sort of weird prank.
That nickname sticks, Oscar the Grouch. In this next story, a woman has been sentenced for the abuse of her 2 young children. Montgomery County Prosecutor Mac Heck Jr. announced that 30-year-old Kayla Shepard will spend 5 years in prison. Shepard was convicted of endangering children and aggravated possession of drugs. And in November of 2024, Dayton police found the children alone on Arlene Avenue. They told officers that they ran away from home after Shepard's boyfriend, Kyle Knox, hit one of them, and Knox was sentenced in January to more than 40 years in prison after taking a plea deal.
Finally, rounding out your top 5 stories this morning, a countdown that we've been keeping our eyes on for some time. People are shaking their heads already. Buc-ee's, it's almost here. Today marks 1 month until the mega gas station convenience store chain is here. It's coming to Huber Heights. The grand opening is set for April 6th. And we know 2 News digital reporter Carlos Mathis has been covering this since it was announced that the Buc-ee's was going to come. So if you need more information, you want to keep following this, we have it online at WDTN.com. So that does it for our top 5 stories. Let's look now at our React to That question for this morning, the totally voluntary React to That question. What are your spring break plans? What are you guys doing with your time? When the sun finally, actually, no, it's sunny and nice outside right now. So if the weather stays as it is, what are your plans? What are you going to be doing? Lee, do you have any spring break plans?
Yes, I accidentally shared mine this morning. I'm just going home to North Carolina this weekend.
Okay, and that's perfect. And mine is somewhat similar. I'm going home. I don't know if I'm going to be anything wild and crazy like an amusement park or anything, but sometimes a break is literally just that, literally a
very
break.
Different from my spring break last year in college.
See, exactly, when you were in school.
Yes.
Yeah, I bet. Okay, well, that's the question. That's what we want to know this morning. Scan the QR code. Get in on the conversation. What are those spring break plans? All right, turning now to your day ahead, looking at what is coming up. So we're looking ahead to spring break, but some of us are also getting excited for St. Patrick's Day, and that can look a lot different to different people. For example, the University of Dayton is preparing for safety. They're looking at all the ways they can protect their students and the surrounding community when those festivities finally start to pop off. So this morning, 2 News reporter Sartaj Singh is joining us. He's going to be talking to officials, talking to leaders, and maybe even some students, Sartaj, about what the school is doing to prepare. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, that's right. Just going over everything for St. Patrick's Day because every year there's always some more safety measures just to make sure St. Patrick's Day on UD's campus is safe. Just going over what happened last year, there was a police presence there where 12 people were arrested. 4 of those were UD students, 18 hospital transports, and police say that bottles were thrown at them as well. And there was a shots fired call. No one was shot, but an officer was injured chasing after the suspect. So there's going to be some increased security, increased ruling here on UD's campus. The 4 things that UD was able to tell us is basically no guests. There'll be no guests allowed on campus during that time. Controlled access to designated gathering areas, wristband access, as well as parking restrictions. Once again, they want to limit the amount of people because, with St. Patrick's Day, there are a lot of crowds of people, no matter where you are, not even on UD's campus, but bars everywhere. There's a lot of people. So they want to control that on UD's campus.
Do you know who you're planning to talk to about what this is going to look like for this year?
We reached out to UD to see if they will be able to talk with us just about diving more into those new restrictions that they're going to have for this year. And also we're going to go and talk to students about it, talk about their reactions to it, because one of the things that we've constantly found out in our previous coverage is a lot of these students just feel like these are outside influences that are making the St. Patrick's Day celebrations on campus trouble. That's what they believe. So we're going to go there and ask, do they think that these new guidelines will help them celebrate safely? And most of all, not to cause any incidents where police have to respond.
Final question for you, Sartaj. Any hot pockets on on campus? Any hot areas where police, where security could be focusing their attention a little bit more?
There's no specific area, but I know throughout UD's campus there will be increased presence just to be safe, because they did tell us that there will be identifying improvements, reviewing incident patterns, and researching their best practices for these large events. So I think as we get closer to St. Patrick's Day on campus, they'll know the specific areas where they're going to have a lot of these people, where they're going to have these huge crowds just celebrating.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of this footage from whenever this was, last year, the year before. I can imagine that they probably know what to expect and what to get ready for here, Sartosh.
That's right. Yep.
Awesome. Thanks. We'll look for more from you at 4 o'clock today.
Thank you.
All right, and we are staying on UD. While we're talking about that, we're celebrating them. Happening tonight, the University of Dayton Flyers men's basketball team, they're facing off against VCU, their rival. That's happening at 7, and it marks the end of their regular season, everybody. But they won't be alone. Additionally, the women's basketball team advancing to the quarterfinal round, where the Flyers face 2 seed George Mason. They're up first. That's at 5 o'clock. The University of Dayton women's basketball team opened up the 2026 Atlantic 10 Championship Tournament on Thursday with a 62-54 win over number 10 seed George Washington. Good for them. There they are. It's the second straight quarterfinal appearance for the UD women. Congrats to them. Perfect timing now, 11:11. Make a wish. When we get back, we have a full look at that Storm Team 2 forecast, and we're getting ready for International Women's Day, you guys. What's happening here at home? We'll be right back.
2 News Now, brought to you by Universal Windows Direct.
Hi, I'm Dan, the owner of Universal Windows Direct of Dayton. This is Bowie. He's been sniffing out the coolest winter deals for you. For a limited time, buy 2 windows, get 2 free. Get $250 off for patio doors and entry doors, $1,500 off for roofing, and $2,000 off for siding. Plus this week, 24 months interest-free financing for all products. Keep the cold out and the savings in. Give us a call now.
Universal Windows Direct.
Thanks for rejoining us, everyone. I love looking at all that great weather during the countdown. Okay, so we are jumping straight into things. Look at this. Happening today, the official start to the Winter Paralympics. It's kicking off in Italy, the host city. We were talking about it so much leading up to the countdown of 2026 Milan Cortina Games. The opening ceremony is scheduled for 2 o'clock Eastern Time. The competition will get started got started earlier this week on Wednesday with skiing and curling. Team USA is sending 72 athletes to compete in this year's games. Another chance to root for Team USA. Go us.
Yes, definitely something fun to watch. Now, before we get into weather, we want you to take a look at this. This is a scary funnel cloud that was formed during the storms this past week. This was spotted in Major County, Oklahoma on Thursday as the National Weather Service issued a tornado warning for the region. We can see in this video released by Fairview Emergency Management that lightning flashing across the sky, just illuminating that swirling cloud. That's pretty scary stuff right there. The NWS said a likely tornado moved across Major County on Tuesday evening and advised the public to take shelter.
Yeah, this looks like Dorothy came down in it originally in The Wizard of Oz.
This is like my nightmares.
Yeah, it looks like you almost expect to see like a big scary face there or something. Like I joked with Jamie, I said, so when do we expect to see something like this happening here in Dayton?
That tornado there, that's bigger than the Wizard of Oz tornado.
It is.
I will say that.
That's super scary, Jamie.
Yeah, they had 11 tornado reports yesterday from Texas through Oklahoma and into Kansas. So it was a very active day out there.
Yeah. I mean, thankfully, we're not there. I guess we should be happy with our rain and stuff, Jamie, shouldn't we?
We will see the potential for some strong storms tomorrow, but today it's actually pretty nice out there. We still have a couple areas where we're seeing some lingering showers, but the sun's peeking out in spots. So the spotty showers will be kind of winding down. The sun will be out here and there through the afternoon, and we're again forecasting that high of 75, which would be a record for the day. Right now, it is 63 degrees. And you can see temperatures climb into the upper 60s as we go through lunchtime, up to 75 between 3 and 4. And then this evening, temperatures will come back down into the upper 60s between 8 and 9. On live Doppler 2 HD radar, you can see just the tail end of that rain in Clark and Champaign counties. That'll be moving out within the next 20 minutes. And we'll zoom out and show you the bigger picture here. We're in the warm sector, is what we're called, of this storm system. We've got a cold front back to the west, a stalled front to our north, and you can see some more active weather back to the west, closer to that area of low pressure and the cold front. That is all going to be heading our way for especially tomorrow. So Future Track today keeps it pretty quiet with sun mixing with clouds for the drive home at 5 o'clock. And then overnight will become mostly cloudy again. Tomorrow we'll start off with dry weather early in the morning. By late morning, we're going to see the potential for some showers and thunderstorms, and that will continue through the lunch hour. And those could produce some heavy rain as well, but they look to be pretty progressive. They're not going to linger. They're going to be in and out of here. And then at the tail end of things during the evening, there may be a few more spotty showers as the front actually comes through. But we do have that low-end severe weather threat for tomorrow. It is a marginal risk in all of our area, and then just off to the east, there's a slightly higher risk where it's a slight risk from Columbus and along 70 points eastward. Our main threat tomorrow is going to be damaging winds and any thunderstorm that develops. So it is a day to stay weather aware. Again, the timing isn't great for severe weather. We would typically like to see it in the afternoon if we were going to have severe storms. The later those storms arrive, the better the chance they would have to be severe. The earlier they come in, the less chance. So the earlier would be better in this case. And the rain chance tomorrow is very decent. Then we get a couple of dry days, Sunday and Monday, and Tuesday rain chances return. Here's your forecast today. Clouds mixing with a little sun. It's breezy, warmer with a high of 75. Overnight will drop back to 64. It'll stay breezy tonight, and tomorrow gets even windier. We're going to see gusts up around 35 miles per hour. And the high tomorrow is 72 with showers and thunderstorms moving through at times. Sunday, back to dry weather. Don't forget to set your clocks forward an hour over the weekend. Sunday will be a little bit cooler with a high of 60, but Monday, mostly sunny and 70. And then we get into more rain chances Tuesday, Wednesday, and it turns even cooler by Thursday.
So, Jamie, even with us bringing forward, I'm still really excited about this weekend. Sunday and Monday look really great. I'm very happy.
They do, yeah. Even though it's going to be cooler than today, it really does look nice.
And I also learned something new. You were talking about the timing of the storms and when they can potentially turn severe versus them being earlier or later. I'm not sure I knew that, so that was really interesting to know.
When you get the heating of the day, that's just fuel for thunderstorms.
Okay.
So the earlier they occur, the less severe risk we have, but it's not zero, so stay weather aware still.
Always. Jamie, before we let you go, we were going to ask you, what are your spring break plans? What are you doing?
I took the week off, but I'm not doing anything.
Jamie, I needed you to be like, I took the week off. Me and the kids are going to Cancun, and then we're going deep
great.
skydiving.
My daughter's going on a trip with friends. She's a senior, so
fun.
Yeah, but it's me and the boys hanging out.
Okay,
we'll find something to do.
It's a break, and that's what's important. Perfect. Jamie, thank you so much. You have a great weekend.
You too.
We'll see you guys on Monday. Alrighty, listen to this.
Well, we've got some other exciting stuff to look to this weekend because we are preparing for daylight savings time.
ahead.
This is a sign that warmer, longer days are almost here, and we spring forward at 2 a.m. on Sunday. The time change can be harmful for our bodies, but there are some steps that you can take to ease the burden. Health experts suggest moving back your natural sleep cycle by 15 minutes every day. Also, set your alarm 15 minutes earlier each day, and you should open those curtains to get more exposure to sunlight. Even low-dose melatonin can help, and doctors say people should prioritize sleep to maintain long-term healthy sleeping habits.
And speaking of DST, regardless of how you feel about it, one way or the other, over the last decade or so, at least 19 states have actually passed laws to let them stay in daylight saving time if the federal government allows it. So some are giving serious consideration genuinely to staying in standard time if their neighbors are willing to make the same move. So there is not a clear consensus, at least right now, on what to do when every solution will still leave millions of Americans in the dark later in the morning or earlier in the evening than they would like for a chunk of the year. And that has been talked about for some time as people deciding whether they're going to continue observing daylight saving time. So it's interesting to see where Ohio stands on if they would never change it. Lee, how would that make you feel?
You know, I'm okay with that. I can get behind that if everybody else agrees.
Okay.
But I feel like everybody has to for it to work.
Yeah, for it to actually do what it's supposed to do, right? Okay, so let's look ahead. Let's look to this weekend. So International Women's Day is coming up. It is on Sunday, March 8th, and the day itself is meant to recognize the social, political, economic, and of course, cultural impacts and achievements of women. And exactly how that is being done, we're going to learn a little bit more about what that will look like here in the Miami Valley. So the Dayton Metro Library is kicking off a special event right before International Women's Day. And to tell us more about it is Sang-Hon Lee with Welcome Dayton. Good morning.
Hello.
Thank you so much for being here. Will you tell us a little bit more about what you guys are doing for International Women's Day and why it's so important?
So we have everything for all gender, all ages, and all backgrounds. We have cultural hands-on activities like cookie doll making, henna, or a friendship bracelet with Latinos Unidos, and we have community conversation with women with different backgrounds, diverse backgrounds. So that'll be a good chance to make a personal level of connection for everyone.
And then what time does the event start? Where do people need to go to experience all of this?
So it starts at 11 o'clock, and at noon, we start food from local women on local restaurants. The food serving starts at noon, and it lasts until 2 o'clock. And Dayton Rec Center will have a short fitness session from 1:15.
Perfect. Sang-Han, thank you so much for coming in and breaking that down for us. Good luck at you guys' event tomorrow morning, or this weekend, sorry. All right, so time now is 11:23. When we get back, a look at what is coming up in Living Dayton and those React to That responses. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. So we want to know what you guys are doing for spring break. And I was just informed over break that apparently the kids aren't doing anything for spring
The
break
kids,
anymore.
the Gen Zers.
Yeah, aren't doing anything for spring break. Okay, but maybe we could be wrong. Let's find out. So what are those plans looking like? Wilson says, right now, I'm just really excited about springing forward. That is an interesting take on spring break. I'm happy someone is excited to get that time. So Janelle says she's going to Japan. That is exciting and fun.
fun.
That is a break and a trip all in one. Have fun. Be safe. Paul says, spring break, what's that? That's very accurate and very in line with what Kelly was saying earlier this morning. She said, listen, we don't really take a spring break. We can get that break when we can and just call it spring break. So I get that. Thanks, you guys. Good stuff this morning. Now, before we get into what is coming up in a living Dayton, we're going to put Emily on the spot and ask her about her plans for
Yeah,
spring
you
break.
know, I don't really have a lot of plans for spring break besides maybe doing some spring cleaning and maybe some self-care, just doing some stuff for myself. But like you said,
That's
we don't really
important.
get any of that time off. So
so you have to make
just got to
do.
take it when we can.
Sure thing. But maybe something is happening in Living Dayton that we can add to our spring break list if we
Yeah,
wanted to.
absolutely. There's so much fun going on, especially at Allwood Audubon. It's a magical place. You guys can go see their huge trolls exhibit. Get outside. Today is the Today is National Day of Unplugging. So what a great way to spend your weekend over at Allwood Audubon.
And it's a nice day today.
Yes, it sure is. Also, it's Friday, so we've got our pet of the week. Can't forget about that. So the Humane Society of Greater Dayton is stopping by, and they're going to bring our furry little friend today.
I always hope for a dog. I always hope for a dog.
I
know
hope it's a
people
dog, but we've had dogs the last few weeks. Maybe it'll be
maybe we're
something
due for a
different this
cat.
week.
Okay.
I don't know.
And I'm really excited about who's in the kitchen with you guys
Yes,
today, Emily.
me too. I love sushi, and it's super appropriate because Eat Pretty Darling is stopping by, and they're showing us how to make veggie sushi rolls.
Sushi roll.
Yes.
Okay.
Delicious.
Sure. I mean, is it? I just need some type of protein in there, but there are vegetarians
Yeah.
out there.
Yes.
So, okay. So we do have time for Love is Blind or? No, we got 15. Okay. Well, Love is Blind came and it is now out of Columbus.
It
so
is.
It's less
gone
busy.
now.
That's why. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll see you back here on Monday. Have a great weekend.
Thanks.